Supercharger. Yo! Turbo boost. Hey, g'day guys. It's Calvin from the Car Tune Company in New Zealand. For those of you that remember Toby, he has the Supercharged Hilux. And he's asked me to come have a bit of a look at it because he's made a couple of changes. The supercharger's gone! No more supercharger! We got turbo boost! Oh, afternoon, eh?
Yeah.
You've been busy again. What have you been up to?
Turbo conversion.
The supercharger's gone. See you later, supercharger. We're putting the turbocharger. You just happen to have a turbo sitting around?
Yeah.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, front wheel sitting over there.
What?
Yeah.
You have spares? Why do we have a range of turbochargers?
Well, I bought that for it, and it looked tiny beside the motor. So I went to a T88 instead, and then that I picked up for next to nothing. It's like a truck, but good paperweight. And the exhaust hasn't too big on that. So that was good.
Too big in the housing?
Yeah. That's more rotary sort of suited.
That one?
That one would have been alright, but probably going to run out of puff on this end.
Mm-hmm.
And that was just a impulse buy
Because you could?
I shouldn't, but I did. The electric plate's cracked.
So what turbo is this one?
T88.
With what housing on the front, what housing on the bump?
The front's a AR80 and the back is a 1.15.
So it's a reasonable size on the back there. Yep. And that's Geordie Cole's old manifold?
Yep. Cleaned up and tidied up. So I die grinded down with the pipes weld to the flanges because they're really shit offset.
Yep.
So it flows better and gave it a clean up down to the intake air temp sensor on the bottom of it.
Oh yes, cool.
Yep. Yeah. And put a 90mm on it instead of the 80mm probably, so because they're actually a 90mm hole.
So that's got a 90mm on it now.
Yep.
And then you've injectors have changed again, so they're
550s those.
the 550s.
Yep.
And you've got the little adapters
Yep.
from the US car to the EV ones.
Yep.
And those are modified fuel rails.
Yeah, just ground the casting down on them. Been a cheap bugger.
You're lucky I had them lying around, eh? They actually came from the UK because they're hard for me to get enough Gen 2 fuel rails, so I just happen to have them sitting there.
Perfect for the dash fittings, you know?
They look good too.
Just weld some brackets in them and bolt them on. It runs, it's loud, and the turbo doesn't spin at idle.
Oh, doesn't it?
No, the housing's probably big.
Probably a bit big.
Oh, we'll see how it goes.
It looks funny with the, because you had that done for the supercharger, eh?
Yeah.
But it kind of works.
It does, yeah. Quite works though.
Intercooler on the front.
Yep.
Again, did you just have it hanging around?
No, I bought that specifically for it to fit in there.
Oh, yeah.
I had the cutting near the front of it, insert. And then after cert I'll go bigger. That's a bit smaller, so I'll probably put something a bit more in there.
A bit more in your face.
A bit more flow. That might be a bit restrictive, but for cert wise there's no cutting of any of the front structure, and if you have a nosy down in there you can see where I've made all nice bracketry for it.
Yep, it's looking lovely.
Yeah, that's good. Power steering cooler in there, which stopped my whining and pump failing last time when I was giving it down.
Yeah, you definitely have to put power steer coolers on the mate. That's,
Yep, I just don't like it.
it's a necessity. What radiator did you use in this again?
That's the original radiator.
Oh, that's the stock radiator,
Yep.
and then you put that overflow.
Yeah, it's like a quarter engine.
That was what you did, eh?
Yep, because I know we have the round one here that's in the
Yeah,
way.
we put the round one on the other side.
Yep, more room over there.
We moved them over.
I just had that laying around and thought, make it work.
So why the move to go away from the supercharger?
Easy to both boost. It's just a matter of changing a spring or a boost it.
I actually had a heap of inquiries asking about that supercharger kit, and one of them bought it. So we will see that again on the Altezza,
Hopefully very soon, yeah.
on Dan's Altezza. I couldn't remember what injectors he actually had. Whether it was EV, I knew it was EV1s with a US car.
Yeah. That's the factory line with a dash fitting just pushed up the arse of it and welded onto the manifold. Factory diesel with the one way
Factory diesel one?
Yeah. I just put some braid over it, tidy it up. And you got our Altezza throttle cable and pedal conversion.
Oh, yep.
Yeah.
That fitted nicely?
Yep. Perfect.
So you put an Altezza accelerator pedal in it?
Pedal and cable, yep.
Where would you get an Altezza accelerator pedal? Possibly from Ethan? Or you looked at Ethan's one?
Yeah, I looked at his, but then I actually got a donor one off Liam. He had heaps of them.
Oh, yep.
Yeah. And I've gone to Teflon fuel line, so
Oh, yes.
only because I had to change, so you had to run it down the tunnel instead of that side.
Yep, okay. You have pulled the PCV valve out? The guts of it?
Out of what now?
Out of the PCV valve?
In here?
Yeah.
No.
Pulled the guts out of it? You need to pull the guts out of the PCV valve.
They're just thrown onto the blank fittings. There's nothing.
Oh, there's nothing in there?
No,
oh, that's good. I see lots of guys, they put it on the PCV valve, it's like, well, it's not working because it's a valve.
Yeah. I had to put them on to go on Hampton, so they wouldn't let me go on with them open.
Okay.
So,
Alright.
quick trip to Super Cheap and
Can lambda. Put can lambda in. Hopefully you haven't put this. You could have just gone.
I was thinking that, but I thought I'll go as far as possible because it only comes down to about here at the back of the wheel, so
Yeah.
it's horribly low. But none of my bits are showing up, so
We can at least put some numbers in.
Yep.
Give it something.
program those and injectors.
Have you got a hole saw?
Yeah, limited size is it?
Just enough to bang a hole through that firewall so we get the wideband inside it?
I've got a step tool, so I can go that side and that size.
Yeah. Because I figured my wiring still should be in there.
Yeah.
It's actually, you're fortunate the way it was wired that it all swapped over nicely.
Yeah.
And it looks good, doesn't it? Looks really good. What size wastegate?
45.
45.
I've got to put
Those rails, how long did you spend taking all the ribbing off the rails?
15 minutes per hour.
It looks really smart, eh?
Oh,
You wouldn't know.
I just did it with the flappy disc and the voice, and then just took all the ribbing off so they're smooth, and then down the coat of primer and put a
Cool.
paint.
That's very cool.
Just takes that whole like cheap cast look away from it.
And then you just made little brackets to suit, or did you just
Yeah, no, I just went to Bunnings and bought some angle alloy and just tagged it on there.
just take some angles on and away you go?
Because we're fully set up for TIG now over here, so
Oh, yep, cool.
new TIG order.
So this manifold is off the 650 horsepower RX-7, the twin turbo RX-7. Geordie's made some changes, the drift car, and Toby's ended up with it. But Geordie kept his fuel rails, so Toby had to manufacture or modify up some fuel rails to do the job. Still running the same coils. What have you done to hold these coils in better?
Nothing yet, but I'm going to make a bar that goes across here, a nice alley one.
Yep.
And then have some like lugs welded to it and then just bolt down through it.
Yep.
Just so it sits on top of them. Just that they don't need to look pretty sitting there, they need to stay in there so they don't bounce out like last time. Yeah.
Just fits, eh?
Just without damaging the wiring.
So I don't think that hole in the corner is going to be big enough to fit anything through, so we better just bang another hole through it. It looks good in there, eh? These ones, because of the high engine bay,
Yeah.
they need something in the middle, otherwise they look kind of funny, eh?
They sit too low, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when I originally did it, I thought Supercharged was fitting there perfect. Because that one I did years ago, like, I had the factory plastic cover on it to make it look like a, you know,
Yep.
factory motor, but standard motors get boring.
Absolutely. And the 1UZs actually respond really well to boost.
Yeah.
Really, really well. So we've gone down from, what, we had 750s before?
Yeah.
So we've gone from 750s to 550s.
Yeah.
And the injectors?
Yeah. Which should be plenty for it in theory, shouldn't it? For now.
That'll be absolutely plenty.
I've got both options to change it now anyway, so it's got the extensions on the injectors,
Yes.
so I can go to a long or short body. And
Oh, yes.
then I can also go to either solar plug, so it doesn't matter what brand of injector comes up, it'll take anything, so.
I've actually got the adapters coming for the other way.
Oh yes.
I've got injectors from US car to EV1s.
Yeah. And then you've got the, you know, the links and things in here.
Yeah.
The sleeves here.
Got the sleeve.
They're a bit of a mish to find. There's not many people that do them.
Not over here.
No.
I've got a couple of places I got them. But basically, if you take this engine, right? This engine would have made around 260 horsepower stock. Let's make it 250 for ease of calculation. And it had 250cc injectors in it.
Yeah.
You add 1 bar of boost, it'll make twice as much power, and guess what? It needs twice as much fuel. 250cc to 500, a little bit extra for the richness of a turbocharger.
Yep.
Bang on, your perfect sizing for 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
Just like that. Lovely. Really simple, eh? Really, really simple.
Yeah, I'm not really chasing big numbers, chasing more drivability, but a bit of powerful fun. You know.
You're not chasing, you want drivability. You might have chosen the wrong one of them.
We'll see. Never know, there's room to go bigger.
Yeah, yeah.
There's room for another one over there.
The extra exhaust fits pretty nice.
Yeah,
Fits pretty well.
There's more room on the side of the brake, obviously for the steering on that side, but yeah, the motor, I don't know, the inner guards seem to have more room this side, so.
Yeah, we always struggle for size down this side.
Yeah.
So your manifold, you've got like a log style,
I'll put it up and show you.
and it goes underneath.
Wheel in there.
See our wheels, the wheels we got,
Yeah.
we put a 5mm spacer in,
Yeah.
so we haven't had to do stud extensions or anything,
That I'm pretty sure you wouldn't. I don't know, just about.
and we've got more clearance than you.
That won't even get through there. That's got a fine bit of torque on the back of it. So it's about
Yeah.
3mm.
Well, ours have got more room than yours. So we've put an extra spacer in the back behind the pads,
Oh yeah.
and we've changed the pad. We put the proper Peugeot pad in it. SP500.
Yeah, she's a bit of a hybrid build, but basically that pipe, this pipe here comes off, goes up to one scroll. This is from the other side bank
Yep.
crossover, and these two go to the wastegate.
Yeah.
So even though they're twin scroll, you've got to link them at some point somewhere. So for a single gate, but then the other option was to go for a twin gate, but we'll see what the boost, how it runs.
For what you're trying to achieve,
Yeah, we'll see how
it'll be
it
fine.
reacts. So, it's quite that we start to look at all from them, but
I think you've probably applied the first rule of turbocharging. Take all the exhaust gas, put it into the turbocharger. And if you do that, it will make boost, providing the turbo's not too big.
I think that thing comes like well on the grinder.
Well on a grinder, that's right.
So what we've got,
So there's your exhaust.
yep, so we've got one manifold there.
So you got your log style
Yep, that comes down the back there.
to 2-inch.
That is, what is that? Yes, that is 2-inch, that's right, yep. The 2-inch crossover.
It's in thin wall, isn't it?
Oh, it's what, 2mm?
Oh yeah, 2mm, yep.
Yeah.
And then comes up and it runs along with the other manifold.
Yep, runs up parallel with the other manifold into the other 90-degree scroll.
Yep. Okay.
Good. We've got our dash return fitting and the feed for the turbo.
This may not pass certification, you know what I mean?
Oh, of course it won't. But we'll worry about that when it comes to it.
So you've got to get that later on, you're going to have to try and get that back.
Do you notice it's going to scream? It says I love that. I thought it. It's going to scream and then go bang. Yeah. So,
Possibly going to be quite loud here too.
it is at the moment, yes.
So you've got the plan for the big Adrenaline R.
So we're going to come over here and then basically going to 90 it, or maybe 45 it back. Put the Adrenaline R somewhere in here. And then I've got a, I'm going to V-banded about here, and I've got a, what do you call them? Varix muffler.
Oh yeah?
I'm going to put on there. They're not certifiable anymore.
Yep, because they're
Right.
adjusting,
Yep.
allows adjustable.
Even though if you wanted to get it certified fully open, they still won't allow it.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it's adjustable, but if you get it certified for its wide open position, they still won't even accept it for a cert at the moment. So I'll put that on the back of it anyway, so it's got some form of being quiet. And then I'll have a, obviously being V-band, I'll have a full length system that can go on the back of it.
But it's legal as soon as it drops back here
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, but you know what it's like sometimes, you can use it later on.
As long as it's past the deck,
Yep. Well, I used to
dump it over the diff.
Oh, I used to have it in front of it because
Dump it
that
just in front of the diff.
goes up inside that hole up there. So I used to sit about here.
Yeah, so you actually leak.
Stuff was up about here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you've done the...
Factory relocation to the back.
You hadn't C-notched it last time, eh?
Yeah.
Had you C-notched it last time?
Yeah, I've seen both times it went.
Okay.
Oh, second time I went to Hamptons it was. First time it wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah, because last time, I don't think you'd C-notched it last time I saw you.
No, so it's notched up into the tray nicely and...
Looks good. That looks really smart.
Done the midsection here too for the dip as well, which a lot of people forget to do.
Yep, you've done a lovely job. Looks good.
So yeah.
Is that to sort the suspension from... Oh, we might not quite be legal here though. So you've got some springs coming?
Yeah, I want to get some reset ones. So those are factory springs for the nice ride.
Yep.
So I had the loweredness, but I had the nice ride around the track. So, but yeah.
So you get some, and they've got an angle on them.
Yeah. So
it corrects your diff angle.
That's what I wanted around the track. I don't want to be fucking hammering the crap out of it. And I've just re-drilled the spring slightly higher, which I can't see why I can't do it for a cert because this still clears this with the weight on it.
No.
And it's the same piece of steel, so worst case scenario, they might want me to weld these up for this one.
I would probably weld those up before you went.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Get them so no one knows that you've relocated them. That's no problem.
Believe it or not, just by doing that, it actually gave it probably, I think it was about 15 mil in the centre of it, so every little bit helps.
Yep.
But yeah,
and then
I'll get some shortened shocks and some reset leaves and just probably put the 2-inch or 1-inch boxes, whatever, get to a decent height. At the moment, it's a bit too stupid, but it's just for look.
Yep.
But to make it actually drive nice in here.
It's how that gearbox handles the jandle.
She's starting to get a bit noisy in the bearings. So it goes through every gear perfectly, so I'll pull it apart and rebuild it. And
get an upgrade kit.
If it had any notch things in it, I'll probably bip it. But
get the 154 upgrade.
Can you put them in them?
Yep. So you can do the center bearing. Oh, the support and the thrust washer.
Right.
And you can do a couple of forks, but you can't do the reverse fork.
Yep.
The reverse fork won't fit.
Yeah, every gear selects nicely, so it's worth doing something with it. If it had notchy gears, I'll probably just get another box, but
yeah,
it actually doesn't drive too bad.
Yeah, no, fix it before it's...
And once again, they're an easy conversion.
Before it's stuffed.
Gear. This is the best thing about them. On the side of the gearbox here, originally a bolt to that bolt and that bolt, and you just shift it forward. There's enough slip on here, and it clears the firewall with that bell housing. That was made to be.
Yep. Correct.
So,
fits real nice, eh?
Yep. I've done factory relocation to the trays, so that's all done through.
See, with a VVTi, you don't have to move it.
Oh, yeah?
Because they're flatter across the back. VVTis are way better in that sense.
Yep.
But because you've got the pokey out cam section on the head,
yes,
that's why you need that 5 mils.
That's clear.
Oh, 10 mils? Bugger all.
Yeah, I think it.
Right, we'll try and get that sensor inside and put some numbers in, eh?
Ethan here now.
So what shocks are in this?
They're a bit of a hybrid. So they're P11 Primera.
P11 Primera.
With the Hilux top hat. So
you made them again.
Everything's made.
Kiwi. How did you get this? I made it.
Yeah, so that's the Hilux top hat. The spring used to sit on the outside of there.
Yep.
So the spring's now inside it, so it can't come out, but it does have a locator that fits inside the insert.
Yep.
And the spring, so it can't actually move side to side.
Yep.
And then the bottom bush with the right diameter, right width for the factory bolt, and then fully adjustable. But I don't know if they'll be able to set them because I don't know if they recognise that brand. But we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
Buy some BCs or something.
You don't have to cert that hole.
Nah.
Make sure you put it on the cert sheet that there's a hole through your firewall.
Why?
Because they get all upset. Everyone gets upset that someone drills a hole through the firewall.
Nah, you put a grommet in that factory.
All people who don't modify cars get all worried about it. And warrant fitness men get all worried about it.
Yeah, they're fucking pansies, that's why.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nah, should be right. Factory toilet hole. I'll probably twist up all the carpet on them. Look.
You haven't got to the carpet yet.
Oh, this is some double skin shit. It's just hard for me to push. I've got 2 broken ribs at the moment, so.
Have you?
Yeah.
But you did break your ribs.
I'm not going to tell you how it happened.
Ethan, how did he break his ribs? How did he break his ribs?
Let's just leave it at that. Yeah, I can't push any weight. Just someone else want to do that.
Yeah, I'll record it. I have fun.
Yeah, you get to drill holes in Toby's ute.
Cold.
It's lucky that Ethan turned up, eh?
Are they touching that loom by any chance?
No, it's not touching that loom.
Oh yeah, there's like fucking smoke through it. Is it melting the carpet up a bit now?
Yeah, might move that loom out of the way anyway.
Alright, I'll move it away.
We probably should calibrate that TPS. It doesn't have much voltage on that TPS, eh? Just let me have a look here.
Pretty
I've adjusted master fuel because you've got smaller injectors.
Yep.
Do you want to just open the accelerator, push the accelerator pedal? And let it off? It's actually pretty close. Okay, we'll just calibrate that.
No, I'm done with it.
Foot to the floor.
Alright, touch up, go get it then.
Close it. Just did something weird.
Did something weird.
Foot to the floor. What just happened? Are you still at the floor?
Yep, it dropped off.
Yeah, so it's got an error.
In the sensor. So I come back a fraction on it, pedal. There.
Yeah, so it's going over voltage. Just let me check what it's doing. It's going over voltage, so it goes. That's why it's going to 10%.
Yep.
So it goes up, and you just.
So there, I can vary it.
Yep. So it's going fine. But when you hold it full throttle, it must be going too much. So if I go here, I go to runtime values, and I look at analog inputs. So what are you at? You're at the floor.
Yep.
Get it off. Slowly push it down. Keep going. Keep going to 3 volts, 4 volts, and it goes to too many volts.
Oh.
Just need to crank it back a little bit.
It's EBS itself.
That's really weird because it doesn't have much volts at idle. You might be spanning it too far. You might be spanning the TPS too far. It might not have enough because it's like 0.12 of a volt at idle. A little bit more. No, go the other way. Sorry. Just nice and gentle, really small movements though. Just a little bit more. Keep going a little bit more. Yep. Go just a little bit more. Like you're really, yep, there, lock it up there. The problem is the sensor's range. Let's imagine the sensor's range goes from this point to this point.
Yep.
What you're actually trying to do is go over here.
Yeah.
So you're
too far then.
It's going further both at the bottom and the top.
So I could use a stopper on the throttles?
Yeah, or yeah, maybe on the sensor. Are you going at full throttle? Is it going past full throttle?
Good question.
We can get Ethan to check it. As long as there's no rotors involved, we're fine. Can we get a 4-post hoist? Flat floor? Someone? Can you get a flat floor hoist? It makes it easy to get in it.
Okay, I'll put that on tick too. So I'm just looking at where this is. And sort of where that is. They're kind of at a 45 to each other.
Yep.
So if you kind of just sort of gauge where that is there. It's just shy of it, so it's not quite doing 45. So. Yes.
And then it just stops out.
I'm going to put a stopper on it about there. There.
Yep, put a stopper on there.
Somewhere there, okay.
About there.
I wonder if I can adjust the screw stop on the back of this.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's going to go full throttle and go back to...
How close to full throttle is it when he's... Yeah, there. Back just a little bit. There. How close is that to full throttle?
Like between that little stopper thing on there.
3 or 4 mil?
Okay. So I can drill it, tap it, and put a screw and stopper on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For the
It's
moment.
going to make no difference that wide throttle a couple of degrees. It's going to make throttle difference, is it?
No.
With boost blowing through it.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's actually offset, so you can, it's an offset mode, you should be able to rotate it around, should hit that.
That back on the back of that throttle?
Yeah.
Is it?
Let's do that then. Let's set that stopper.
Bring on tension.
Can we get through there on an angle with the Allen key?
Probably could, might be easier to take that whole discal.
This is Toby, he's going for easy.
Yeah. Till it rounds it.
Ah, look.
Oh no, you sweet.
It's a line with it.
Ah, that's right, you're showing off your willy the other day.
My willy. I was showing off my willy. No, I was standing with a willy.
Standing with a willy.
It was a small man with a big willy. Now, see, I was very careful how I put my words. I said it was a small man with a big willy.
It might be enough. Can you see is the laptop still going on there?
What's the value you're after?
We just don't want it to max. Oh, yeah, Ethan's got the laptop. You good on the laptop? So just check the TPS. And because it goes to 100% and then it maxes out. So it'll drop back to 10%.
10%.
What's it? Is it 10%?
Is that 10% now? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still going over.
Yeah, hold up. I'll go up to 100 and then see what it's at.
So what it's doing is it's coming up in voltages. Here's your voltage here.
Yeah.
So as it goes to...
So it's 95% or 94.4.
That's perfect. Nah, don't do that.
Yeah.
And we'll calibrate it there. It's given us 4.75. We might be able to adjust the bottom end of a little bit, but it's... No, let's sit it there for the moment.
94.8, yeah.
Do you want to calibrate it?
Right.
You know how to calibrate your TPS?
ECU controls, calibrate TPS.
Yep, that's it.
TPS setup, eh?
Yeah, TPS setup. Have we got battery charge? Is this vehicle built on V bottles?
Nah, this vehicle here is.
That vehicle there? Do you not eat food? Do you just have V?
Yeah, I'm lacking V somewhere else.
Fingers, knees and toes, here we go. Oh, you absolutely want to check that there's oil going to the turbo.
Make sure for the bottle on it, make sure there's something coming out. There's one at idle.
Just going to turn the key back on.
Yep.
Did you hear it get nicer?
Yes, it's.
I'd increased the injected, the master fuel.
Yep.
And then this one, because it was supercharged, had way too much fuel for a turbocharged setup at idle.
Yep.
Do you want to just give it a crank and...
Yep. Again. Yeah, I think it's that Yep. Plenty of oil there.
You got oil?
Anyway. I was going to say, because this is in the same junction block as the link pressure switch as well as the factory one for the dash light.
Is that that's not a ball bearing, it's just a floating bearing?
Yep.
So no restrictor? You're just relying on the line to be the restrictor?
It's got in it, what we have? We did buy a fancy fitting for it. About a 3mm
Okay.
hole.
That's the recommended size for that,
For that, yeah.
turbocharger?
Yeah, but 3 to 3.5. Yeah.
Sounds right, eh? Run. Different sound to it. There's a no spinning of the turbocharger. So it hasn't actually been warm yet, eh? No. You've just fired it, that's it. 5 seconds? Yeah. watch there, I'll do it here. I'm not doing ghost cams at the moment. I want to actually be able to run. Sounds right. Ready to drive now? Might not be ideal to drive it like this. Put an exhaust on it maybe. That sensor's working, the wideband's working, everything's looking good. It's just all the paint burning off, it's the fumes in the workshop.
Yeah. Can you hear that slight tick off? It used to do it with the blower, and I thought it was the backflash of the blower used.
Sounds like a little, have you done the tap, check the tappets on it? No, it sounds more like it's at the front, hey?
It sounds like that, tensioner.
It's down the front here. It'll be that buddy tensioner right there.
That one there?
No, it'll be the next one below it. It'll be that one.
Oh, and the bearing there.
Yeah, it'll be the bearing in that one.
You're going through that noise.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I reckon if we drop the belt of it, that noise would go away. You want it, I've got...
Well, I've got to get the right belt from anyway to go around the back of that pulley. So,
You could just strip that unit out.
take it off completely. Go straight up.
But, yeah.
Oh, yeah, like what he's done.
Yeah. I reckon if you whip the belt off, you can check that. Your turbo doesn't spin at idle.
Yeah, it's over the day. Yeah, I think there'd be enough flow for the exhaust, but it's quite a bit low.
No, it's a big housing. That idle speed's about right. No caning the crap out of it until it's got some proper numbers. But it's safe to move around. It'll be safe to drive around the workshop. There shouldn't foul plugs. Do we get that? Did you understand? Did you actually understand? No. I see no blow valve yet. Yep. Well, I'm here. I got it going. Goes.
Got another fitting on the back of the manifold that I put there for it.
Boom.
So this is the manifold one, isn't it?
Yes, the manifold. Yep.
That's the sensor inside it.
Oh, that's your E10. Yep.
Yep.
Looks good. Yep.
It's inside it, and then basically this is the fitting to put on the back of it.
Yep.
Yeah, and then on the base of it again. So
Yep.
pretty straightforward.
That air temp sensor, as long as it's in a high flow zone inside the manifold, it's all fine.
Yeah.
Because the other place we sometimes put them, of course, is just here. Because we want to measure the air going into the engine, is the idea.
Okay.
And you've got to be careful that they don't heat soak in this situation. See, on a turbocharge, you can put them here really easy.
Yeah.
And you catch the air going into the throttle body.
Yeah.
On a supercharger one, you can't, here, going before the throttle body doesn't measure the air.
Well, the plug will reach there, the balloon will reach there, so I can relocate it.
Well, you just put another one. You just put a second one in.
Oh, yeah. I'll leave that one.
And leave that one under there if necessary.
Yeah.
But in here is good because you can measure the air actually going down to each cylinder.
Yeah. Well, I've got
A little bit of...
so those wires there are spares.
Yes.
So they can. There's 4 and another one there for the auto control, which we're
Yep.
going to use 2 of anyway. So there's 2 more spares on that one, and
Yep.
there's 3 there. So we could always add a second sensor if you want to run both. I don't know.
It actually needs to pull forward just a little bit to take the tension off that temp. Sounds good though, eh?
Yeah.
Sounds nice.
So nice exhaust on it, so it can be driven out. There's the photos on the side.
Fingers. That's doing what it should.
That's inside the motor. like brand new.
It's like new.
Yes.
Because this has done like 26,000 k's or something.
Bloody low, yeah. Well, I was told 60, but
Oh,
I reckon
60?
I reckon it's, yeah, well, there's no yellow stain at all.
There's zero staining
Like,
inside that motor.
on the alley, on the crank, you know, even the oil pump on that, it's,
Yeah, there's nothing.
you know, even up inside the pistons, like it's, and the
spotless.
oil pickup is like brand new, you know, so should be healthy enough to thrash the crap out of. Are those?
Is that your noise? You think?
Sounds,
I've got replacement units. Though this one you're not running it anyway, it's just going along for the ride.
yeah. Well, give me a run.
Yeah, you did hear it rumble. She's naked.
I'd rather it be that than something internal. Well,
Yep, that's nice and simple way.
Shouldn't have been internal for how funny it is, so yeah. Beautiful.
Hurry up and get us going.
No.
Motor's got to be sold.
Yes.
So we need to buy for the motor.
Yes.
2 hair dryers on a LS3?
It's a stroke release one, so it's 383.
383.
Yeah, 4 and 4, and I can't run over the stroke. But the amount of money I've had on it, I've had enough strokes, so.
You've had enough.
Yeah. And then the gearbox is a 256 out of an RT10 Viper.
Was it?
Yep. So I bought that from the States, and they said a strengthened gear set in it. And it's got a shed bell housing with a Commodore tail housing and remote shifter.
Alright, all the gear. So you need someone to buy that off you.
ACT twin plate clutch with a light and flywheel. Got all of it.
So that's the box.
Yep, and that's the clutch and flywheel, which is pretty light when you bring up the 2 fingers, so it's all there to go.
There's a bit of gear, eh? Right, because you bought the kit for that 7A.
Yeah,
Would you sell the whole kit out of it? Would you sell the bolt-in? Yeah.
Yep,
You'd sell a subframe kit with a motor and box and all the gear to go.
Yep.
If someone came up. Alright.
Brand new Link G4 Extreme in there. That you can go with it or without it for the right price, so I'm not fussed if the Link doesn't sell because I can use it on the road, so.
Yeah. Right.
But everything's brand new, the motor's fully built, fully forged, brand new heads from Airbus. Even like it's fully built.
Built.
So
Any our teasers.
yeah.
Righto. Supercharger gone! Now we have the turbocharger. Are you going to start it and make noise? Yeah. I don't know, I want to make noise. Listen to that. Catch it, make it road, do an exhaust and we'll put some road numbers in it. Go road tuning. We'll see if we can hold it on the road at 14 pounds. Let's do a dry day, eh? Please, a dry day. Righto. Catch up.
Thank you.
Catch you, Ethan.
Catch you later.